Get ready. Ourconic Entertainment is bringing the heat with our exclusive sit-down featuring the phenomenal Jackie B. This Grammy-nominated powerhouse isn't just changing the game, she's rewriting the rules. With her electrifying vocals, soul-stirring songwriting, and mind-blowing stage presence, Jackie B has exploded onto the scene and refuses to be ignored. When she's not crushing it in the studio, she's igniting audiences as a dynamic speaker who tells it like it is. Right now, on Ourconic Entertainment, the one and the only one, the unstoppable Jackie B. Hi, this is Cynthia back with Ourconic Entertainment, and I am here with the one, the only one, Jackie B.
Hey y'all.
How are you? Did I get that right?
You got it right. You got it correct.
Correct. So I am so happy to be sitting here with you today, Miss Jackie B.
Mm-hmm.
So tell us, what is going on? What music do we have? Tell everybody who you are.
Well, as she said, I am the one, the only one, Jackie B, Grammy-nominated singer, songwriter, speak life advocate. Life is LYFE, and that's acronym for Let Your Faith Evolve, because I want people to own their dopeness while elevating in their faith.
I love that.
Thank you.
So tell us about your advocacy. So you
Oh my
said
God.
speak life advocacy. Tell us what that means.
Listen, I speak life. I encourage people to own themselves, be authentic in who they are, and live judgment free.
I love that. Straight to the point, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's so good. That's so important. So, again, the one, the only one, Miss Jackie B.
Yes.
I wanted to reiterate that, right?
That's fine.
So why did you start introducing yourself that way? That's why I wanted to say it again, the way that you say it. Tell us the significance of it.
Well, when I first started releasing music, I was having issues with my music being on other Jackie B platforms.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so there's this pop artist. Music is really good, nothing, but when people would like, "Ooh, I want to hear your music. Where do I go?" They would type it in. She was the first person that popped up.
Okay.
I was like, no, people have to understand that there's only one. There are many, but there's only one me. Mm-hmm. So I literally just started saying it exactly as that. And I kept it because I like how it rains off my tongue when, when I'm speaking. It gives that extra confidence. So
that's a great introduction. I might need to borrow that.
Take it.
The one, the only one, Cynthia Bailey with Ourconic Entertainment.
See?
How was that?
You see how that feels?
That was so good.
It boosts your confidence level.
The one and only one. But no, that's really good though, and you should be your own advocate because you have to believe in you first.
And see, that's the importance of my Speak Life platform. Like, I had to go through a history of self-doubt, second guessing, validation from others, getting second opinions. Just trying to find myself in other people's definition of me. And I would say about 2022. Of course, the pandemic was, still in its early stages of everybody trying to figure out what they want to do. I decided to sit down and really start looking at me in the mirror. That was the most scary thing that I've had to do in my life, And the beautiful thing about it now is it's an ongoing healing journey.
Okay.
So I'm constantly looking in the mirror. I'm constantly speaking life into myself. I'm constantly telling people that, it's important to speak life into yourself, because if you don't believe in what you're saying, how can you expect anybody else
I agree.
To believe in what you're saying?
I agree. And so tell us where you're from, how you grew up, and how you became the one and the only one, Miss Jackie B.
I am originally from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Okay. Shout out to the hometown. I discovered singing at 9 years old. I was actually playing with my Barbie doll in my mother's bedroom, and we were listening to TLC. Now y'all know how old I am. And the song "Baby, Baby, Baby" that came on, and I remember combing my doll's hair in Chili's Park, "Come Along As You Know," and I'm listening to myself, literally like singing the notes exactly as they are. And when it finished, I was like, I can sing. So I shared it with my brother. I shared it with my brother and my sister, and they were like, "You can't sing." I was like, play the cassette tape back.
Yeah.
Now you definitely know how old I am.
Cassette tapes. Yes.
I was like, play the cassette tape back. So they played it back, and I sung, and my brother, he dropped his jaw. He was like, I was like, mm-hmm. And next thing you know, I began maneuvering throughout my hometown with the family music group. Yep.
That is awesome. That's a great way to start.
Mm-hmm.
Just loving what you're hearing and then incorporating it in your life.
Mm-hmm. And to be honest with you, I never, like, in my younger years, I never really had like vocal training or anything like that. Okay. I was brought up in a church just like anybody else, and I can remember when the Pastor Davis, at the upper room, it was really called the upper room.
Really? Was it? Never heard that like be a real name.
No, he had us singing in the choir, and he kept telling us, because I guess he wasn't hearing us, sing louder, and I didn't understand what he meant, so I just started shouting the words, like literally shouting, and this man was like, "Oh, that sounds good. Who is that?" And I'm like, and I just kept going.
Yeah.
And of course,
let the Lord use your baby.
Exactly. And of course, over the years, listening to other artists, listening to some of my favorites like Whitney Houston.
Of course.
I love house music. So you got Vesta, CeCe Peniston, Robin. You got some greats over there that not just sang, but they belt.
Powerful.
Yes. And so like.
Absolutely. Well, I love that. So it's great that you were able to have that seed planted in you at a young age and kind of run off with it.
Absolutely.
And I know that you said that in the beginning your brother and sister kind of doubted you a little bit. Was there anybody else around you that said, "Girl, you can't sing," but then you said, "Watch this"? And how did that make you feel?
So I think I shared this when we were doing the video footage for my song for the campaign.
Yep. Tell everybody else about it. That was very important, and that's exactly why I asked you.
Thank you.
Exactly why.
5th grade, my 5th grade teachers, Miss Squire, Miss Kano, 27th Street School, they would always prepare us, they were preparing us for middle school. But I was one of those children that, I like to have a little bit more fun than everybody else, so.
That's how we gonna frame that.
Right.
A little bit more fun.
Right.
Yeah.
And so, like, when it came to, like, me showing my gifts and talents or anything of the nature, Miss Squire, because she was my home teacher, Miss Squire, she really didn't care for it. So Black History Month came around the corner, and she got word that I was actually going to be singing for the show, and she just was like swearing up and down, "Oh, you can't do that. You don't even know how to sing." Keep in mind, she never heard me sing. I never hummed a note or anything, and I love telling this story because it was like, for me in the 5th grade, it was like, I took my power back. In your face, Yeah. And so I remember showing up. My mom got my hair did. I had a little green on the side.
Okay.
All black dress. I was just ready to go. And here I got Miss Squire telling me, you can't do it. You won't be able to do it.
She even said it on the day?
Yeah, you won't be able to succeed. You can't do that. And I was just like,
okay.
All right. Now, a sidebar, you know how when they talk about self-esteem in a child and when there's enough individuals that speak negative to them, they tend to take on that and actually believe that. I don't know what was going on in that moment, but to hear her say that, it was just, for me, it was like, oh, I can't wait to show you.
Let me show you.
Oh, I can't wait. Oh,
exactly.
And so the moment came, we all, going to the gym for our show, and they called my name. And I see Miss Squire sitting over there in the corner with her head down. Like, she didn't even look at me not one time. And I'm watching. I'm just watching. And then Mariah Carey, There's a Hero, come on. And then I did. I said, mm-hmm. She didn't hear that. I said, there's a hero. She was like, I'll never forget it.
Are you looking at me now?
Her head, like when I say the woman was too stunned to speak, that's literally what it was. She was just, and by the time I finished the entire song, she was the first one that got up and gave me a standing ovation.
Wow.
And I was like, I just stood there and I was like, I told you.
So what did that mean to you?
In that moment, it was like, no, if I said I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it.
Right.
That's how much I believed in myself. And even like now talking about it, it's kind of crazy how, you know, as we get older in life, there are certain things that take place in our lives that allow us to step away from that level of belief that we had as children.
Right.
It's so crazy, you know? Mm-hmm. I'm grateful that I'm back in it. I'm getting back to it in a lot of areas of my life. But wow.
Mm-hmm. You get to reflect on the journey.
Exactly. I'm dope.
You are. No, you are. And I appreciate that you are sharing that gift with other people. Because I believe that if God gives you a gift, he gives it to you for other people.
Absolutely.
Right? And of course for you, right? For you, but for you to influence or influence other people or to change other people's lives. And I appreciate you being obedient.
Thank you.
To that.
Thank you. I don't know about everybody else's personal relationship with God, you know. Whatever name they choose.
Right.
You know. I know that I talk to God like I'm talking to you.
Yes, as
like
you
I'm
should.
talking, you know, and some of our conversations be highly interesting. Highly interesting because I actually
it's me again, guys.
Exactly.
So.
I get responses like, and I'm not just saying no. I get actual responses.
Right.
You know, and so for this life journey that I'm on, that I'm experiencing, all I can say is, if at any point I chose to just stop, I don't know where I would be.
Right. So you've mentioned a few times that you're getting back to. So where have you been? What's going on?
Oh gosh. Okay. So I was married at one point in my life. Mm-hmm. I was with my now ex-husband from 19 to 29.
Okay.
So all my young years spent being a dedicated wife in a household where we just weren't compatible. I'll say that. You know, there was a lot of differences, a lot of strongholds and barriers that neither one of us knew how to break. So our definitions of love was almost like it was falling on deaf ears, you know? So yeah, it was a lot. It was tumultuous. I'll say that. It was tumultuous, but we had some really great times, but we had some really, really, really tough times. And those tough times pretty much outweighed the good times. And so I know for me, I had to make a decision.
Right.
And I had to make it fast. Because I shared with my ex-husband, you know, somebody's life is going to get taken and it ain't going to be mine. Right. I'm just going to be honest with you. So can I say that? I'm going to say that.
Yeah, you can say that. That's your truth.
Okay. So
be honest. No, because you free other people with
exactly.
Your honesty.
So
absolutely. And
then too, the divorce was final in 2014. I was dating somebody in the interim of that, and then I immediately came to Georgia from there. So I never really gave myself the space to properly heal or start the healing journey. If I just swept everything under the rug and assumed, out of sight, out of mind, you know, but there was the lingering hurt and pain that I didn't want to revisit, because when it came to going back home, oh my God, I only could stay there no more than 3 days, and it was time to leave, you know? So, yeah.
And so, unveiling trauma. Unveiling trauma. So
you're a good one.
Thank you. I'm very precious. That's what I do. So just kind of, it births things in you.
Oh my God.
Right? It could be good or bad.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
It can provide a mirror in front of you, or it could cover one. So it sounds like you might have been buried for a little while, right? But what gave you the strength to take the cover off of the mirror and look at yourself and say, I need to be realistic about me and my future and what matters most? What happened?
So I'll say this, because it started, can I say, in the interim of me separating from my ex-husband. Mm-hmm. I share this all the time because it was a real moment that at the time when it happened, I didn't know how to explain it, but I know what I was feeling. So separated from my ex-husband, I'm staying with my mother. Love my mom, but when you're in a house with other women, there's the conflict of interest and everything. And it's like just so much going on. And then in that time frame of me and my ex-husband being together, like me and my mother weren't always seeing eye to eye. So we had more disagreements than we did have times of family time and stuff like that. So there was a good amount of time where I spent away from her. Okay. So when that happened, I had to go back, or I chose to go back, and And I remember I was in that mirror making ugly faces on purpose because I wanted to laugh, right? I didn't want to feel what I was feeling in that moment, but I was just so overwhelmed with everything that was going on. I found myself asking myself, why me? It's my fault. How did I end up in this space? Yeah. And it was almost as if time had immediately stopped. And who I am now showed up in 2012. Who I am as far as my voice, my confidence, the broad chest, she showed up and she looked me dead in the eyes and she said, I believe in you if no one else will. And I'm looking at, it's almost as if who I was in that time went to the back, so who I am now could come to the front. And I was like, okay. And it everything just came back in, it sounded like something off of a movie, but that's really,
was your time though.
Yeah, that's really what happened.
It was your time.
It was so interesting, and I was like, okay, but nothing happened overnight. I was still miserable. I was still crying, but I held on to that because that was a real moment for me. It was me having that time in the mirror with me, and who I am now needed to show up to let her know, hey, it's not as bad as it looks. Right. It's just a moment. It's an experience. We're going to get through it together. Right. And then you're going to come out on top.
So how long did it take you to come out?
2022. 2022. When I finally, because when I tell you, while everything was happening, I was so distraught. I was trying to find everything to keep myself busy. I was doing some of everything that I ain't had no business doing, and I had business doing. Okay. Right. And so coming to Georgia, it was like, okay, I'm seeing how fast paced it was out here already. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna hit the ground running too. And and I know while I was here, the first 3 years, it was hell for me because I was hitting brick wall after brick wall after brick wall. And realizing, while I thought I was going to be coming out here to pursue music and everything, oh, good, blah, blah, blah. Nope. I was like, God was like, no, you got to sit down. Yeah. You got to sit down. So sit.
As he does. As he does. He gets you quiet and still so you can hear. Then obey.
Exactly.
And then obey. So to other women that find themselves...
And move with intention.
With other women that find themselves in situations where they've lost themselves in their way, how do they start to move with intention to improve their situation?
How? You're asking me how?
How? If someone was, well, I'm asking you now, but if someone was in that situation, and they needed your advice.
You know what's so funny? With all of I literally just did this to a good friend maybe 3 days ago.
Okay.
I was prophesied to. I received a reading. I've had someone just randomly come up and tell me on 3 different occasions, your success is in the details. I pay attention to details of everything in my life, around my life, outside of my life, to even determine if it needs to be in my life.
Right.
So one of my good friends, I was just listening to her have a conversation. She was telling me about some of the things that she's experiencing within, her family and what she would like and what she don't. But I'm listening to the passion in some of the words that she's choosing. And as I'm listening to her, and actually we were traveling back to Georgia, and I was driving and she's talking and it's getting dark and I put the visor down. I opened where you can see the mirror to slip the little cover back, turn that light on, and I said, look at her. Because this is the one thing that a lot of people tend to overlook. Look at her. Tell her I'm sorry. Talk to her. Because a lot of what we're doing when we're expressing ourselves, it's not that we're really angry at the person that's doing it to us. We're mad because we accepted it.
Yes, absolutely.
And then until we're able to get past it.
And accept responsibility.
Responsibility, accountability.
Yes.
And change the trajectory of what it is. Because as long as you speak on it, you continue to give life to it. And you're just resetting the time for you to heal.
Right. You're absolutely right.
I told her, talk to yourself. Because this has nothing to do with them. You're speaking on why they shouldn't, but let's be realistic. They don't have to. That's not they don't have to.
Right.
What you desire is what you desire. So what you do in acknowledgement of what isn't there, you create the space for what needs to be there. And you start with yourself. Because what they're not giving you, you're not giving you. So you're not going to be able to give it to your children. You're not going to be able to give it to your significant other, your friends. You have to start with yourself. And the first thing you need to do is say, I apologize, or I forgive myself for it. You may not know what it is at that time. That's a conversation that when you start your healing journey, it's ongoing. And it's so funny because in 22, I'm thinking that there were so many things that I'm healed from. And I heard this last night in a Instagram post. I can't remember. But there's so many things that I thought I healed from or experiences. But the realization is there were increments within those experiences that I've healed from. So it will take me to actually visit something in my current that would have me revisit that experience and realize, oh, I didn't heal from that. And so there's always a review in your life that's taking place. So once you start your healing journey, it's never ending.
I agree.
Yeah. I hope I answered your question.
You did. But even in the healing journey, how did you not repeat the same behaviors?
Well, I'm going to be honest with you. I repeated the same behaviors, especially when it came to the dating realm. I had to really sit down and realize that the very person that hurt me the most was the energy that I was attracting because I didn't know how to let it go. Yes. So, and my anger was so powerful that these guys that I'm dating, I tell them what's going on. They wanted to do something to this person. And it's like, hold on. The last one, I was like, wait a minute. It's a me thing now. I got to check that because I don't want to wish death or harm on nobody. Right. But I need to simmer down because we really don't know how powerful we are in those moments, so.
And people don't realize that you attract who and what you are. And those unhealed places will give people permission to come into your life. And even if you say, oh, I don't want that, but if that's not healed within you, you're still holding on to those people.
I'll say that, but I'll also say you attract what you accept, but you attract what you contract with.
Okay.
Everything is a contract.
That's fair.
Whether people don't know it or not.
That's fair.
And once you give your consent in any capacity,
that's fair.
You allow. You allow. So
I agree. That makes a lot of sense. That makes sense. So are you journaling? Are you mentoring people? Are you writing these things down for our book or a short story that Ourconic is filming? What are we doing? What are we doing? Are we turning these lessons into profit?
Listen,
what are we doing?
It's all there. I've journaled. I've written songs for days. I have notes in my phones for days on my computer. Like, it's all there. That's kind of like how my Speak Life platform. So I have a podcast. It's called Speak Life Talks Radio. Speak Life Talks. And I started it in 2020. I didn't know nothing about what I was doing. I didn't know nothing about the platform. And I purposely leave the first episodes up because I want people to hear how crazy it was. Okay. It was all over the place. Okay. All over the place. And slowly and surely I started, narrowing it down to, what I want. And I have yet to really get back into it. But that space was a space for healthy conversations. People ask me, you ever consider being a therapist? No, I don't want to diagnose. I don't want to tell you what you need. No, all I want to do is have the conversation. I want a group of us to come together and talk about these things and just what makes sense to you, take the meat and leave the bones. Yes. That's it. That's it.
That would be awesome. That would be a nice platform. And I strongly suggest that you do it.
It's there. It's there. I just haven't really advertised it as much. Yeah. But I got like I said, I have the episodes are up. I have the IG platform. I have other pages for it too. But with everything that's been going on the last 2 years, I'll say, it's really encouraged me to really, really, really push the agenda. Right. Because I operate in it every day. I go to sleep, I wake up in the middle of the night. I'm probably in my dreams if I actually recorded myself, so it's there. So, and that's why I say I am the Speak Life advocate, the conduit between you and the source.
So how important is it for you to make this music as personal as possible? Because even before we started, I'm asking, what can I ask you? What can I not ask you? The vulnerability that it takes for you to be a singer or to be a Speak Life advocate has to be, pretty scary at times, I think. Do you ever worry about somebody judging what you say or what you've been through or what we've contracted?
I used to.
With the past?
I used to, and that was kind of the reasons why, when I would do my music and stuff like that, I would either dibble dabble or I would push it in a way where other people could, be at the forefront of what I'm doing. And that could have been anywhere from doing the administration part of it to hosting it on their platform, whatever the case may be, because I just wanted to keep myself in a shell, or keep myself in a space where everybody can like me. But realization is I'm not likable by everybody, and I'm okay with that. I'm very much so okay with it.
Right. We attract who we're supposed to attract. I really do believe that for sure. Okay. So we talked a lot about music. Give us specifics. What was your very first song? Even if you were 7 writing music, what was your very first song?
So are we speaking of songs that I've written?
Let's go written first.
Okay. So shout out to my oldest sister, Pamela Lee.
Miss Pamela Lee. Hey, girl.
Thank you. I used to watch her writing songs when we were kids. She used to keep a red folder of all her songs. And one of her songs that I it was called Freak Life. Okay, so and it was a remake from
Let's get to it.
It was a remake from Street Life. Okay. It's the only thing I know. Yeah, that song. So when I was 15 years old, I was like, I'm ready to write a song now. Okay. And I wanted to write it for the both of us. And the song was entitled Shining Star.
Okay.
and we recorded it. We still need to do some work, and it's just left in limbo right now. But the words were, if I can remember. I will take you to the sky. I will take you very high. You don't have to shed no tears. You won't have to run away. Everything will be okay. You're my shining star. That was the very first.
That was an
song.
exclusive. Oh, it makes me so happy. No, that was good. Just feeling your energy, because music has energy. I'm a Pisces, by the way.
Okay, Pisces.
I'm a Pisces.
Happy belated birthday.
March 2nd.
Oh, okay.
March
nice.
2nd. Yes. So today's the 29th. So March 2nd. But it's just, I'm water. Right?
Yes.
I flow. So music is everything to me. That's why I say God didn't give me that gift of song, because I would never shut up.
I see, I'm water too. I'm a Cancer.
Okay.
So,
hey, girl.
Hey.
But that was beautiful.
Thank you.
And especially that you included your sister on it. So is your sister a singer as well?
She is a singer. She isn't singing as much as she used to when we were, coming up, but like it's something that I would definitely encourage her to really tap into, because I want to finish that song.
But even if it's just like a one-time thing, like to get the sisters together and to kind of sing and even shoot a video. And thank you for letting me be in your first video too, by the way.
Of course.
That was never on my bingo card, as they say. Never on my bingo card to be in anybody's video.
It worked out perfectly.
What?
Perfectly.
But it was fun to kind of be in your natural habitat, right? To kind of be around your energy. And then getting the backstory of who you were, and then because I met you once before, twice before. I believe.
We met on the red carpet, the film festival,
But to actually see you in your element was just a beautiful thing to watch. And then going through the footage again and the photos and kind of giggling on the side with my niece, So it's like that type of energy brings conversation, one fellowship, which is great, and then to get to network. Right? And it takes people out of their comfort zone. Yeah. Because normally my niece wouldn't do something like that.
Really?
No.
Wow.
She did
really good.
So
she did really good.
And that's why I said it was a great experience to have and not really expect to do it. Right? So, and I feel like that's what your music is. It's fun. It's free. It's like, even though I didn't plan on having this feeling, I'm enjoying the feeling. So I just want to say thank you.
Thank you for being a part of the feeling. When it comes to creating, and it's so funny because I had this conversation with another creative. Where music is going today, I'm very respectful of all the artists and everyone that is contributing. But I come from an era of music where like that feeling that like right there in your gut, like. Turned around, not thinking about nothing, and then take on me. You be like, take on me, like just like that. Like you want to participate in it, and it gives you life. Where it's almost like you were missing something, and it's like that's it. Yes, So like when I'm performing or when I'm singing, my goal is to always project what I desire or what I'm going through or what I'm feeling inside, because you're my audience at the moment. I'm not selling, you know what I'm saying? But I'm sharing my energy.
And pulling people in.
Exactly.
Say, enjoy this with me.
And now we're bouncing off of each other's emotions and we're celebrating in unison,
So tell us about your music career. So you started young, figuring out that you could sing, writing a song, starting to write a song when you were younger. And I know that you sang at church and maybe at school, and singing other people's songs. So I know that we mentioned a few artists earlier, but what song, other than TLC, changed your life as a singer or artist, a woman? And it holds a special place in your heart. Maybe it doesn't have to be necessarily be your song, but what song and what other artists influenced you most? If you had to pick one or two.
It'd have to be Whitney Houston. I remember going back to my age and them cassette tapes. I remember having to, I would purposely put the little piece of paper in the tape. You know, when I want to overdub.
Yeah.
Put it on there and
make your own mix.
Exactly. But every time I was listening to the radio station, I wait till Whitney Houston song come on, hit that record button, let it play, and then cut it out until like they'll play another one of her greats.
Yeah.
And so like that was me. And for I think what was the first song The Greatest Love of All.
Yep.
That just the power, just the like the elegance, Whitney was different.
She was.
And we had some beautiful vocalists in that time. Don't get me wrong. But Whitney, for me,
at every note.
Yes, like for me, it was just like. And I'm an avid lover for Anita Baker too. Like, because Anita, that she has an extreme eclectic voice. But that Whitney Houston, she demand and command your attention, and you had no choice but to like
every song. And
so having that as a child growing up and to look at to actually like I can't copy it, but I could is emulate even a good word to use. Like I could just do my best renditions of or as far as contribution to what she gave us. You know, I want that. I want to command the room when I'm singing. I want people to be at attention. I want people to receive this energy. I want people to know that this isn't a game. Either we're going to have fun, life is going to change, whatever the case may be, but I want to project exactly what I'm feeling so that you receive it. And you know what's so funny even about that? Having Whitney do all of those great things, I still didn't really understand what was the connecting piece to like really transition the conversation through music that way. And it wasn't until I was 17 years old and I was singing with the gospel group at the time. And we had to sing at a church course. I was singing, wasn't Now Behold the Lamb, whatever the song it was. I was singing, oh, Holy One, I praise you. And when I finished singing it, the minister was a woman. I'll never forget her. She came down because she was speaking that night. She came to me and she was like, did you feel what you were singing? I said, I mean, I think so. Like I was singing it, you know?
Yeah.
She was like, no, do you understand what you were saying? And I couldn't answer that. I'm 17. All I know is y'all asked me to sing.
I sang the song. What you want to do?
I'm going to tell you exactly what she said do.
Yeah.
She said, I want you to sing those first words again, but I want you to close your eyes. And I want you to minister to yourself. That's all she said. I didn't ask, well, what do you mean by I didn't ask any of that. I closed my eyes. I went deep. And by the time I opened my eyes, I was on the floor. I was. And so for me, that was the connection between what Whitney Houston does and what I needed to do for my artistry when it comes to, because I wasn't the only one on the floor after I did that. You know, I had a nice amount of people, you know. Again,
obedience to your gift.
Exactly. And so I carry that with everything that I do now. I've even mastered how to, you know, tone it down and bring it where it makes sense. So
that's awesome.
Thank you.
So, and I know you said no formal, if I can say it, training when you were younger.
I didn't have any formal training. Now in our school, we had a piano teacher. You know, she did some basics, but it was never really a one-on-one situation. It was always, she came with the entire class every, maybe Tuesday and Thursday if she was available. You know, it wasn't until I was in middle school, and then after my divorce with my ex-husband, I went back to school, and that's where I got the most training for my vocals. Then my college professor, she was classically trained. Okay. So she was, her belting, little skin. She about your size, if not smaller. It's a little short thing, but she was like 4'11". You know, but when she sing, the power that will come behind. So, you know, when it comes to, you know, Church of God in Christ,
right,
and how they power.
Yes.
But I don't think a lot of them, and I won't say all of them, but I don't think a lot of them really understand the semantics behind singing with power. When you're belting, there's a certain way, and you want to make sure that you're doing it healthily. Otherwise, you can cause like nodes.
Yeah, very true.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so she actually presented that to all of us as to how to do that. And I'm so grateful she did, because now when I sing and when I hit those high notes, I'm able to do it and have a conversation with you almost immediately after with no irritation.
Yeah.
So
first time I heard about that, I was watching Mary, their show, and they were talking about that. And then I think I heard it was Usher, and then it was like other people.
Fantasia,
right. Having to either have surgery or just losing their voice, even with Mariah, right?
Yeah.
So how, and I know that you said like there are certain ways that you train. So just the people trying to start out singing, like if you were to train me, for example, right? Is there a ritual? I don't want to call it a ritual, a routine. Like, are you drinking teas? Are you doing the la?
So definitely want to definitely do your solfege. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. But, you know, every individual's voice is different.
Right.
So what may work for me may not work for you.
Okay.
What I will say is pay attention to the seasons. You want to make sure you're covered as much as possible. Okay. Teas, you can drink teas, but again, it just depends. You know, some people prefer lemon and honey, whereas lemon will dry out somebody else's throat. You know what I'm saying? Really, really bad. Or the honey, for some, may cause a lot of mucus, you know? I say, for me, just hot water. Hot water, you know, keep it simple, you know, and then just over the course of time, gradually step into those other elements. They have sprays that you can take. Again, they're different. There's a entertainer spray that's specifically for vocalists that they can use. You can use whether on a regular basis or you can use prior to. They have, I like Ricolas, but they're special lozenges that's for singers, but I keep it at the Ricolas and call it a day. And then too, on the day of singing, try not to speak.
I have seen that.
Yeah. Use your voice as less as possible. So.
And so I want to take that element from you being a singer into just personal life. Meaning, how do you, because you're showing us and telling us how you take care of your voice for your gift, right? To maintain your gift. What are you doing for your whole self to take care of the person that carries the gift? Yeah, you saw how I did that. It's fine. It's fine, girl. Don't worry about it. But no, because it's important, right? Because we really might focus on what we have to give to other people. But what are you giving
to yourself?
Back to self.
All right. So one of the things that I am working on, like y'all see it's here. It's just noticeable. I can't do nothing about it, okay? But one of the things that I am doing is getting back into, you know, exercising more, like really tapping in with it. And one of my fears of exercise, because I used to exercise a lot when I was a teenager. This is new to me. I really, I got this when I got married and got comfortable, you know, like, anyway. So, but what I've come to find out when I work out, like I'm in fear of the pain.
Yes.
And as soon as I feel it, I want to stop.
Yeah.
And I'm grateful because I just enlisted a trainer, and I told him, like, sir, I need you.
You need to get a trainer that doesn't care about your feelings. Looking at my husband behind the camera, he's my personal trainer. The only time we argue is when we work out. We're almost 10 years in. We only argue in the gym. So you need a trainer that's, I mean, I don't mean to say it like
no, because that's the realness of it.
Yeah.
Like
he's like, oh yeah, that's fine. Okay. Get some water, come back, hurry up.
Exactly.
Go.
Exactly. So, and this will be my first time actually working out with a trainer, a dedicated trainer at that. You know what I'm saying?
So why did you decide to say, I need to do like I have to do this?
I want to run again.
Okay.
I'm
not part of that ministry, but okay.
I am.
That's not my ministry. But
and, you know, a lot of people have the, you know, we got stereotypes going on out here in the world. We got, you know, everybody want to look like this person or that. And I want to run again.
I love it.
I miss when I used to have on my heels and they were high.
Yes.
And let's just say the bus is coming.
That's a gift.
I would
dash.
That is a
gift. Do you hear me?
I would dash and I would make it.
Yeah, you cannot murder yourself.
Exactly. I miss those days. There's something as simple as that, you know, like that and just being able to like move comfortably without like feeling overwhelmed or, you know what I'm saying, things of that nature. Like I miss being healthy. I miss being my healthy self. So I'm ready to get back to that space and just I love me. Yeah, that's without a shadow of a doubt. I love me. That's without a shadow of a doubt. Yeah, but I'm ready to love me more.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah,
that's good. So, what about the spiritual and mental? Because it does take mental to work out, right? But that's more physical. But you do have to get the emotional and mental together.
So, I am an advocate for meditating. Let me tell you, in 2022, when I sat down and I really started diving into myself and like, I'm not a Bible thumper, you know, so I've read the Bible and things like that. I still have questions about a lot of things that's going on in there, honestly, you know. However, my relationship with God has been the closest I honestly think I could ever imagine since knowing. Like, I know, like, and those meditations, it got to the point where I could literally, I would always meditate right before I go to sleep. As soon as say about 5:30, 6 o'clock hit, I'm meditating. Throughout the day, when I think about it, I meditate.
Who taught you to meditate?
Oh my God. Me.
And why was that important?
I don't know. Why was that important?
Let me tell you. Let me tell you. Because I believe, and I talked to my husband about this earlier, so forgive me, my superpowers kicking in.
It's okay.
I believe that your, like you said, like your future self, like your inner self, says it's time to stop. And it's time to reflect.
Absolutely.
And then it's time to take your power back. Whether that be for the day, for the month, or from a person.
Yeah.
So meditation grounds you so you can refocus.
Exactly.
And you can recharge. And recharging offers opportunity for growth. And just like when we work out, like it's gonna hurt because you're busting up muscle and, you know, and tissues and that type of thing, and it's growth, and it's a broken spot, and it's going to reheal, and you're going to be stronger, which is the same thing we do with our heart and our soul.
Girl, look, I'm so glad I got these shades on, because you're not about to be having me up in here crying.
You know, so you take your power back and you say, I'm coming back to self, and I'm allowing God to do the same thing my trainer's going to do. He's going to listen to me. He's not going to care. He's going to redirect me to what I need and not what I want to do. Because at the end of it, I'm going to be better. I'm going to bend. I'm going to feel broken, but I'm going to be better. Okay. And that is it.
I felt the pressure in my head. I had to take them off.
That is it. And that is all. And so it's the same thing, right? So when I asked you about the mirror, do you see where I'm going with this? When I asked you about the mirror, you literally had a mirror moment. When you took that mirror, you took the cover off the mirror, you were standing in the mirror. And then you saw. Right? So you meditated with your eyes open. Yeah. Because you focused and you had a new reality, basically. Right? And then you would kind of like pull back into it.
Yeah.
But it still takes time. It's going to be the same thing with the gym, same thing with your career, same thing with relationship. You're going to recognize who you are currently.
Yeah.
Right? where we're going. Now, what about the journey to get there? It's the same thing.
You're absolutely
with everything.
Right. When I tell you, okay. I so appreciate you.
No, absolutely.
I appreciate this moment. I have to stop in the midst of everything and just acknowledge how grateful I am. Because change happens, and it comes swift. Whether you're ready or not. And you have to work through the flow of these changes. Mm-hmm. So I'm very grateful to just be sitting on this couch having this conversation with you.
Just me and you. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. 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 And this is what you're going to be pouring into your music. And when you have your panels, and when you have your talks, and when you get on your podcast, and you're sitting in front of a camera, this is what women want to draw from.
Exactly.
And that's why I'm asking for details when you're speaking, because this is a reflection time, but this is somebody else's rescue. Because the same way that you sat in front of that mirror, some women don't want to look at themselves because I put myself in a situation. I don't want to look at me. I'm going to look at me long enough to get out the door.
Yeah.
But not to reflect. But you've done the work.
It's scary.
You've done the work.
It can be so scary to really
scared.
do it afraid. I always say that. I always say it. Mm-hmm. That's the best. Somebody gave me that advice. Mm-hmm. And I was like, what? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah. Do it scared. Yes, I know what I get it. Let me just say that. I get it. But one day I made a list of everything that I was afraid of. Mm-hmm. And then I did it. Mm-hmm. I jumped out of a plane. I jumped off a boat. I married a man I've been friends with 15 years, 10 years, however long it had been, without real relationship, but just friendship. But I married him, and now I'm almost 10 years into it. And it's the best decision I've ever made. I did everything scared. And I was like, God got me. Right? Okay, so we talked about the I Love Me video that you just filmed at Picasso Splat here in Georgia. Mm-hmm. With the I Love Me song. I love me, I love me, I love me. I love that song.
Thank you.
What else are you working on? What else can we find from you? What's coming up?
Okay, so one of my greatest skills, of course, is I'm a writer. So I am blessed and honored to have written on, I've written on one of my other homegirls' albums some time ago. And she goes by Elaine Essential. So check out her, Don't Take It Personal. That's one. Okay. But as of lately, I've written for my sister, Mika. She's a Southern Soul artist based out of here in Georgia. Okay. You can find her music everywhere, MEEKA _MEEKA, everywhere the doll. So I'm not going to say too much.
Mika the doll?
Mika the doll.
Mika the doll.
Mm-hmm. So I ain't going to say too much, but I got some work with her. Shout out to my home team, Polaris Music Group, More to Life Productions. We stay working. We stay out. If y'all don't see my hashtag, I'm always saying we outside, because we really outside, okay? Shout out to Sally Vey. That's my partner in grind. And let's see. The song I Love Me is now actually it released today.
Wonderful.
The actual song has released today, so y'all make sure y'all go and catch that. It's available on all streaming platforms. And
I Love Me was in partnership.
I Love Me was in partnership with Ourconic and Louisiana Can for their HIV AIDS awareness campaign. So I'm very honored and grateful that song was picked up and placed on that platform. I've heard really, 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 really great reviews, and I look forward to meeting everybody that played a part. I'm looking forward to coming to Louisiana, so y'all better come and get me. Stop playing.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And then another song that has just been released featuring another Southern Soul artist, which is my good friend Lucky Lee, and that's called Two Step to the Left. Work your body, baby, 2 steps. So yeah, so
can't wait to hear that.
Yeah, so I'm actually working on the show lineups as we speak. I know I have a show upcoming May 16th. I have my own curated show towards the end of May. And then I will be doing an Unplugged in my hometown of Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Dates are being finalized as we speak, so y'all just stay tuned and like follow me on my social medias that I'll be giving you later so that you can stay in the know.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate your time here today.
Thank you.
We have been on a journey.
Yeah.
During this interview today, this catch up today. It's been wonderful. I've really, really enjoyed talking to you today and learning more about you.
Thank you. Thank you.
And again, thank you for your time. So just let us know where we can find you.
You can find me everywhere at Only One Jackie B. ONLY. One is in the number. JACKIE. B as in boy. Only One Jackie B. Everywhere.
All right. Well, thank you, Miss Jackie. One and only one. Miss Jackie B. The one and only one with Ourconic Entertainment.
You are perfect and you are worth it. Yes, you deserve it if you say I can't stop the rain from falling, but I love me, I love me, I love me. Hey, it's a beautiful and I can't stop the rain.